Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading for Scorpio energy today. So what are we on? Steps 8 of the 12-step star sign healing program that we seem to be doing for this set of readings. So I've got the healer of the ages here. I want to really stress that everybody is welcome to this set of readings, no matter what your beliefs are or are not. Everybody's welcome here. But this dude here came out on Easter Sunday and decided we all had healing work to do, like healing our soul. So it's really just, how do we grow? How do we get stronger? How do we deal with that kind of like core wounding? And how do we take ownership of our own healing rather than being codependent or reliant on other people or situations around us? How do we see ourselves as like a separate entity that has autonomy, right? Autonomy of like, I get to decide how I feel. I get to decide, you know, yeah, how I feel. That seems to be quite a thing for you. I was channeling the song "Sounds of Blue" by Morcheeba. Why can't I speak all of a sudden? "Sounds of Blue" by Morcheeba, which really, if you watch the video as well, it really has this kind of like gauzy, dreamy, watery quality to it that I really feel is typical of Scorpio energy. And whenever I see somebody who's underwater, like taking a deep dive, it does talk to me about our emotional depths. So what we may be talking about today in this reading could be something to do with our deep waters, our deep emotional waters, possibly things that are really, really deep down there that we haven't looked at for a while, you know, that need dredging up from the bottom. I don't know why I'm getting like, all this like dredging. I'm sort of seeing like the Titanic in my mind's eye, you know, like old shipwrecks that are like buried out at sea, and then they kind of like drench them up and like pull them up. You know, like what I'm specifically seeing is like, you know, when they do that under the water, like sifting the water. So it's like something that's kind of like dead and buried emotionally for us, and it's like really deep down there, and it's gonna be like you need a deep breath to go and look at what this is. I'm getting called to the archetypes deck as well. I'm really, really noticing that, so I'm gonna get that out as I'm talking. So yeah, something that's really buried down there, and it's like you have to, in that song she talks about like holding your breath and like fighting the urge to breathe as you dive deeper down. So it's like whatever this is, so big trigger warning for this reading. I don't know what's going to come out, but we never know. Yeah, we could be looking at something that's really, you know, you don't want to look at it. It's like you fight your natural instincts to feel this thing, or you fight your natural instincts to, it's like it's something you want to leave buried, but you can't heal unless you dredge it up. I'm really seeing like the bottom of an ocean being like dredged up, like the sand and the sifting. And then I'm getting Buddy Holly as well by Weezer. This is the song that like actually randomized for you. So you know, it's that "what's with these homies dissing my girl," but the actual artwork is very, very blue. So you have "Sounds of Blue" by Morcheeba and this very blue video, and Buddy Holly, which is the artwork's very blue on that video, on that image on Spotify. I can't speak all of a sudden again. What is this? Why can't I speak? I don't know if somebody's feeling very kerfuffled, like something happens and somebody's a bit tripping over the words when they're responding. But there's a line in that Buddy Holly song where he says, "What's the matter, babe? Are you feeling blue?" So there's this thing about blue. Even like the cards that I'm using that I was drawn to are very, very blue. And I'm really like, even like blue crystals, I'm really going to blue for you for some reason. So the original reading that I did, the Tell Me Anything reading at the start of the week, that was kind of like the practice reading, it had this thing about having to go through the blue phase or the blue period. So I don't fully understand what that means. Maybe it means something significant to somebody, but this apparently is what we're talking about today. It's so funny as well because for everybody else, I've had this card here and instinctively I just keep moving it off to the side. It's like I knew I had to get a different deck for you. It's like saving space, perhaps. Saving space could be a thing for you. There's the comic. Oh, I keep talking about Jim Carrey this week. You know when you watch one video and then you get like 100 more suggestions about the same thing. So I've been watching all these Jim Carrey videos about like his life and, you know, the stuff that he's been through, the relationships, his depression. So again, feeling blue could symbolize depression, and kind of getting to grips with it and kind of, you know, he got really into painting and art. So again, that the blue period, like Picasso's blue period, you know, how art can be healing, you know, being creative can be healing. And it can allow as well, if we have been suppressing something emotionally, and this isn't going to be for everybody, but if we have been suppressing something emotionally, like, you know, like it's too painful, or it's too almost traumatic to go back and revisit whatever that was, whatever those feelings were, we can become very numb. I'm getting like cold water now, like numbing, you know, like when you're in cold water and your body goes numb. So like, I'm hearing numbing. So I don't know if somebody has been numbing, like with substances or certain behaviors. It's like distractions so as not to think or feel this certain thing, because it's too painful or it's too triggering. So again, huge trigger warning for this reading. I don't know what's going to come out. But yeah, it's like it's only when you take a deep breath and really bring that thing back up to the surface that you can shine the light on it and release it. I want to say, and I am not a psychologist, I am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a counselor, although I have been looking up courses online, so watch this space. So I'm not the best, I'm not qualified to give advice on these things, or like PTSD or anything like that. I can't be the person to talk you through this. You're going to need professional help if this is your situation. But this reading could be a starting point. It could point you in the right direction. And again, I don't know what's going to come through in this reading. And if it's incredibly triggering, I want to say, like, take a deep breath and prepare yourself. And if you're not ready, don't watch this video today, you know? So yeah, the comic, you know, they hide the darkness behind the mask, just like Jim Carrey, which, you know, obviously I've been talking about a little bit this week. He's been on my mind. So what's this wriggling? This seems to be something, this like wriggling. I don't know, something to that, like the feel of it feels like, again, it might be sifting or panning. You know, like when you pan for gold and you put like the sand in. Funnily enough, I heard the song Bruno today, where she says, I associate him with the sound of falling sand. Shh, shh, shh. So I don't know if somebody has like a family member that they don't talk about. Taurus had this black sheep energy. It's like the black sheep of the family. We don't talk about them. You might feel that way. But this, shh, 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 I don't know, like somebody who gives you creepy vibes, perhaps. Like maybe like a snake, you know, like the way snake moves. Again, trigger warnings. Okay, what is it, please? What is it for Scorpio? What is this? The gem. Yeah, so the gem to me does talk about your soul. This is the whole point of this reading. This card used to come out for Libra a lot, and it symbolizes, all of these kind of symbolize what I talk about, or what I visualize when I talk about the soul. So even like getting called to the archetypes deck, so the way I visualize our own soul is like a gem. So sometimes the gems can be like black or mirrored or sparkly or a certain color, but what you're aiming for really is this kind of like transparent soul, and all our experience create these facets on our soul. And so what we tend to do is we, you know, especially like if the diamond comes through visually as kind of like black or smoky or opaque, is that the right word, or mirrored, is because people are hiding something. So we're aiming for a transparent soul that you can shine a light through, and it's going to radiate your true colors out. It talks about authenticity to me visually as a metaphor. So yeah, or this golden light, which is this kind of like unconditional love, healing energy. So yeah, what happens sometimes is we may show a certain face in certain situations, a certain facet in certain situations. So if we're dealing with our parents, we may show our, you know, we may be on best behavior or not, you know, depends on your relationship with your parents. You know, when you're with your friends, with your besties, you may have a bit of a devilish side, you know. When you're in the workplace, you know, you're going to have a certain face that you put on, a professional face. You know, we all do it. It's natural to do this. But what you want to aim for is that you know, even though you're showing a certain facet in a certain situation, which is appropriate, you know, people can see the whole, you know, they can see the whole of you. And so what tends to happen if people are having a bit of trouble in terms of, you know, their identity and certain identities in certain places. And, you know, a lot of the time it does come from like the damage. It comes through visually as like, sometimes like a mirrored surface or like a smoky surface. It's like hiding something and only showing certain faces in certain situations. And then because I saw that cat as well, again, it's like wearing the mask, being the comic, because you're hiding the darkness, hiding the pain. Now, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just talking about my own how these things come through visually and in metaphor for me and what that signifies. So the gem then, this is kind of giving me diamond in the rough, which came through for Aries. It's like finding the treasure in a dark place, you know, I'm getting gorillas in the mist. I'm hearing gorillas in the mist, which might just be my mum. She was a Scorpio. She loved that movie. Yeah, I don't know, but whatever that means to you, gorillas in the mist. She was a Scorpio, did I say that? The diamond, the gold, the inner treasure, which is exactly the aim of this set of readings, right? There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing is for certain, that it is found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, a diamond in the rough could definitely be dealing with an Aries. The gem, or you could have Aries placements. I do recommend you go and look up well, watch all the videos because all the signs can teach us different things. But I do recommend you look up your main placements. So if you don't know what your placements are, there's a link in the description box back down below. You can click that. It's a free birth chart service. I'm not affiliated. It's just what I use. You want to check out your Mercury sign for social situations, how you deal, you know, how you approach social situations, how you communicate, these kinds of things. Your moon for fears or fantasies or the hidden self, you know, how you are behind closed doors. Your Venus placement is to do with like love and romance and desire and passion. Mars is to do with how you take action, what motivates you, what angers you. So they're kind of like, for me personally, they're the key placements I really like to look at. And your Lilith as well, especially because we're talking about healing. Lilith and North Node could also be interesting. But so yeah, somebody may have an Aries placement. The gem also always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You can't find it when you are among comforts and pleasantries. Precious stones develop slowly deep in the earth, amid pressure and darkness. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface, where there is no definitive map. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. So it's like trying to get that buried treasure, like trying to get the buried treasure from the bottom of the ocean. So this is something where you're going to have to go out of your comfort zone. I want to say with the metaphor of the deep ocean and have like, you know, like having the deep breath. It's like you have to take a deep breath. You have to dive down to reach the bottom and like sift around for this diamond. And it's like, do you know how I was saying it's like you're sifting? It's like, you know, it's down with all the shrimp and the seaweed, and it's like looking for, I don't know if somebody's like dropped a ring, perhaps like you've been swimming in the ocean, you've actually dropped a ring or a necklace or an earring, you've had to go and look for it. But to me, it's saying like it's worth doing. It's worth doing this brave, scary thing, because by taking you out of your comfort zone, it's showing you a part of yourself that you didn't realize was there. Be safe though, right? With proper precautions. Take your diving instructor. Unique, shining, generative, irreplaceable. So go deeper. Legends of the Crystal Skulls. Leonard Cohen's Diamonds in the Mind. I love that film, The Phantom, with Billy Zane in. It's so cheesy but so good. In mythology, the diamond is often linked to the daemon or inner light. That's D-A-I-O-N. Sorry, D-I... I'm going to show you. Can't spell. D-A-I-M-O-N. Or inner light that leads us towards our true self, our purpose, our destiny. That is why we're here. Should have known you'd go deeper, Scorpio. The moments of your life that glimmer are clues to where the gem resides. The moments of your life that glimmer are clues to where the gem resides. Don't covet the sparkling diamond of another. The gem is like a fingerprint, never to be repeated again. Find yours. So again, it's the soul for me. Your soul is like a fingerprint. It's unique to you. You're having a unique experience here on earth. So your unique qualities, your unique talents sometimes can lay dormant until necessary. So it's like by going into situations that, you know, they take you out of that comfort zone and they challenge you, you're going to have that kind of growth, and you're going to find things, you're going to dig deep and find things that you didn't know were in there, I want to say. So what needs healing, please, for, I love that that card came out, it's so appropriate. What needs healing, please, for Scorpio? So we're going for Tuesday. Scorpio, please. Scorpio. What needs healing, please, for Scorpio? Blossoming abundance in reverse. So somebody could be looking for treasure in all the wrong places, in all the wrong things, coveting their neighbor's goods. Contract is there. Could be some kind of soul contract here as well. Can I get a clarifier, please, for blossoming abundance in reverse? I'm actually going to pull all your cards first today. Two of inspiration in the reverse. Somebody who hasn't had a lot of choices. Could be because your funds are limited, is limited your amount of choices. Okay. So you've got Starry Night Acceptance. This is what you have to go through to heal this. Hummingbird Joy and Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings. It's really nice, actually. I went for a walk yesterday, and all the bluebells and the daffodils are starting to sprout. Tulips as well. And all those kind of like spring flowers are starting to appear. Starry Night Acceptance, Hummingbird Spirit Joy, Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings. So you do need a new start. I think Starry Night talks to me about like accepting your situation, accepting that you are where you are, and perhaps you did have limited choices and perhaps that wasn't fair, right? But you always have the ability to make choices in the present. So, for example, you might want to go back to university. You might want to change your job. You might want to become an artist. There's, you know, you may have accepted. She's looking back at the past as well. I do feel like it's like acceptance. Like, this is the situation I find myself in. I'm going to look for the silver linings, perhaps. I'm going to look for the joy. And this is going to be a new beginning for me. I don't know. Starry Night as well. Okay. So who had the blue period? Picasso. It was Van Gogh, wasn't it? Or Van Gogh who did Starry Night. So again, those kind of paintings. Somebody could definitely be an artist. Starry Night Acceptance. Kind of make me think of, you know, the song Starry, Starry Night. Paint your palette blue and grey. Oh, Shadows on the Hills. I'm trying to remember. All these choir songs keep coming up this week. I had I Could Fly on the Back of an Eagle, and now it's Starry, Starry Night. Right, okay. Ace of Emotions, Unconditional Love. It's coming up. I'm getting Gorillas. Gorillas, you've got Gorillas twice. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's Dare. Oh, do. So Dare by Gorillas, if I stop singing. It's coming up. Okay, it's coming. You're coming back up. You're coming back up for air. So you've got Page of Voices. I kind of want to put these here, but I kind of want to do it like this. So you've got Page of Voices, Two of Cups. Whoa, there you are. King of Emotions. So you are on some kind of like little journey here. You are having the deep dive. You're finding something down there. It could just be yourself, like self-discovery. So gaining information, discovering a partnership, deep, this is King of Cups, deep, deep feelings, deep emotions, being really good with whatever you feel. It's like whatever you do while you're down there, when you do that emotional work, you come up for air and you come up with unconditional love. So Nine of Emotions, good on your own. Hermit, good on my own. I am good on my own. I accept my situation for what it is. I am not codependent. I am not emotionally codependent. I'm the King of Cups. I'm self-reliant. But there's someone else here. Could be matching with another Scorpio as well. Gaining information on a partnership. Deep, 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 deep spiritual work here. Yeah. And look at all those diamonds around her. So okay. I'm getting things, but I'm just waiting to say them until I'm a little bit more sure. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is grab your advice card and then we'll actually start to read some of these cards and what they mean. So your advice, if you want a quick reading, 20 minutes, you know, this is your advice, that's it, absolutely, that's fine. But if you want to stick around, we'll figure out what all this means. I'm not going to take any more cards, by the way. I'm going to take this as part of your advice. Just because I like the Ace of Cups symbolically because it's, and visually, because it's like you're coming up for air after taking the deep dive. So you need to do this deep dive. Talk about deep dive, whale spirit, trust the great mystery. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And I love that. I love when I get comfort. Truth transcends illusion. So, and you're looking for the truth here, I want to say. Some deep inner truth. So, wow. I'm hearing you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. That's not going to be for all of you. I feel like that could be something in the past. It depends on what point along this healing journey you're on. But it's like somebody doesn't see their value, or somebody doesn't know, they don't know the strength. I am going to get a starseed card. Just hold on a second. There's something going on in this reading. I trust you to have a reading like this, Scorpio. I was like, who am I talking to? Who am I connecting with? Right, let's get you a starseed card. And I don't want to, because I don't want to deal with any kind of like anyone who's on a big ego trip here, but for one of you at least, there's something really, really special going on. What is it? What is Scorpio meant to find? What is it about Scorpio? I remember the soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Okay. 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 I remember. And I just saw jump in as well. I remember. Before I read it, I'm getting this energy of it's like we're all said to be born with a destiny, aren't we? We're all said to be born with a purpose, like a soul purpose, a fate, you know, lessons that we're supposed to learn when we're on earth in this physical form. And you know, deep soul level revelations. And you know, obviously we're born, we're a baby, we're a child, you know, we grow up in a certain environment, whether it's nurturing or not. You know, we have different experiences, we're exposed to different things, different belief systems, different ideas, or we are limited by those things. You know, we're brought up in a bubble, we're brought up in a box, we have limited experience. So we can only gain experience by going out and doing things, or by watching films or reading books or hearing about other people's experiences. You know, we can have that empathy. But if you're not exposed to it, I've actually wrote it down here again with my little obsession this week with Jim Carrey. The creator, right, the director says, we accept the reality of the world with which we are presented. And it's got that feeling to it. We accept the reality of the world with which we are presented, and we forget our soul plan. We forget what we're coming here to do. So this feels like you, Scorpio, if this is resonating for you, asking that question, why am I here? What is the point of my existence here on earth, what am I supposed to do? Like, I feel like I'm fated to do something. It's almost like feeling like you're the chosen one, but not knowing what you're chosen for. So it's like trying to figure that out. And it's like, and it could be something minor, right? It could be something really small. It doesn't have to be, you know, your Buffy the Vampire Slayer or anything like that. It could just be something like, you're destined to meet your soulmate. I had The One by Dua Lipa stuck in my head this morning when I woke up. I could be the one, be the one, be the one. You're meant to have this soul healing. You're meant to meet somebody who mirrors you and you heal each other, right? Because I was kind of getting the one energy over here, because she's surrounded by diamonds, right? So this is when I went quiet and I was like, I don't want to say what I'm getting just yet. It's like she's surrounded by diamonds. So it's like she's good on her own. She knows who she is. And yet she's trying to figure out which of these diamonds matches my diamonds, whose soul matches mine. So it could be somebody looking for their soulmate, right? It's always meeting somebody on that deep dive that is almost like the complete opposite you, like the mirror opposite. But then the thing with these two diamonds here, and these were the ones that were catching my attention, they are like an exact opposite of each other, right? Except they're exactly the same, but they're a mirror opposite. So it's like to find that, right? To find that matching soul. And I don't agree with the idea that you are half a soul, or, you know, you meet your soulmate and then you're complete. I don't buy into that. I think we have a whole soul, right? We are fully formed, but what we can find is our opposite, because I think for every reaction there's an equal and opposite reaction and all that kind of stuff. For everything that is, there's an isn't, and vice versa. So you're meeting the chalk to your cheese, right? The salt to your pepper. Exactly the same as you, but completely opposite. You know, you might be shy, they're extroverted. You might be sexy, they might be conservative. You know, you might be left-handed, they might be right-handed. You might be logical, they might be creative. It's like they're the complete opposite you, and yet you're completely the same. Like two fish from the same pond, right? It's in the mirroring. So again, I don't know if you're meeting with like another Scorpio. Okay, let's just read the cards. But it's like to do it as well. To find that matching soul, you have to first be fully acquainted with your own soul. So I don't want to say the TF thing, but if some of you are here for TF, then you know what that is. That's what I'm picking up on. I remember. Because again, I don't like to give people a story, and again with that, I think of like you buy into what you're presented with, right? If you're only shown if you're only given certain options, that's all you know. I don't know why it's coming up with this. I've been watching that on Netflix just before I did the reading, that Abercrombie and Fitch documentary about how they presented a very, very limited, narrow, idealized version of beauty or desirability, or what it means to be cool. Like very limited, right? Very exclusive, if you want to put it that way, like toxically exclusive. And it's like you don't realize straight away. You look at the images and you think, oh, these images are beautiful, they're so wholesome, you know, what a great brand. And then when you look a little bit deeper, you think, hang on, there's things that are being excluded from this. There's faces, there's people, there's backgrounds that are not being represented here. And so it's almost like if you're only presented with one version of what the dream is, then how do you know if that's what's right for you? There's something like that going on here, I think. Okay, I remember the soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. There was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of the life that you're living right now. This goes back to, I think, Plato. If you want to dig deeper into this in terms of mythology and history, Plato's myth of Er, E-R, could be relevant. When you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life, we live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses. Wow, the fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. There you go, that's that deep breath, right? If you pull this card, it's like the resistance, right? If you're diving down, you know, the water pressure is going to change. You know, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel uncomfortable because you're going into a new environment. If you pull this card, it's because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you towards, and to remember that this moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. You may find yourself at a crossroads. Sorry, the plane, what's with these homies dissing my girl? It's like that's the programming talking, you know, that's the Abercrombie and Fitch like promo team, you know, being like, oh, I'm not sure that person that you're interested in fits our narrative, you know? And it's like, well, maybe I don't want to be part of your narrative. It's like, or maybe we need to expand your narrative, you know? It's like, I don't know. Right, okay. You may find yourself at a crossroads, at a moment when you're being called to make a decision, to keep walking the perfectly laid out plan before you. Or choose, or it's like your family want you to do something, right? Or choose the one less travelled. It's exactly what I was saying. You may be facing a change of career, a new relationship, which definitely looks like this here, a difficult decision, or something else that requires courage and faith. I feel sick all of a sudden, so sick. You're being invited to remember that your soul's greater plan, you're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or her life journey, or their life journey, comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around it is through it. And it's all part of the larger plan. Trust the great mystery. Trust the big plan. What are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? Okay. Wow, Scorpio. Talk about going deep, right? I love it though. Your energy went through a tricky phase where I found it really, really difficult. And I remember I used to say, why do I get this? I was like, my mum's a Scorpio and she's so lovely. And I come to Scorpio readings and I'm scared. I'm scared of what I'm going to get, right? And then it's like, recently I've been coming and it's like this gorgeous, like plutonic high priestess, like soul journey energy, which I'm here for it, you know? Right, blossoming abundance. So this is what needs to be healed. Again, I definitely feel like a tie-in with the Tell Me Anything reading, because I remember that their thing that they had to heal was something to do with wealth, or like their ideas of wealth, or what it meant to be wealthy, or what it meant to have victory or prosperity. You know, what it meant, what they were. It's kind of like the lie they were sold. Again, like Abercrombie and Fitch, right? Which, again, like I've got good things to say about them too. Like, actually, apart from the overt racism and narcissism and stuff, actually on an advertising thing, beautiful pictures, you know. Did a good job coming up with that brand image until it got sucky, until they had terrible business ethics. So yeah, I don't know, it's like being sold the ideal, being sold the dream, right? Being sold the American dream, the whatever it is, right? The consumerist dream of like what it means to be beautiful and successful and popular and cool. And then, you know, perhaps your family encouraging you to do this, you know, join the football team, you know, get on the honor roll, whatever it is. You know, this is what it means to be successful. If you don't get good grades, then you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna struggle for the rest of your life, you know, all this kind of stuff. There's plenty of entrepreneurs, there's plenty of billionaires who did terribly in school, you know, because they had that out of the box thinking. But this is like, you know, stay in the box, stay in your lane, you know, play the game, do it well, and you'll win the game of life. And it's like somebody's recognizing now that there's different options that they were never presented with. Okay, this card reveals a potential decrease in money, with the coins falling from the garden and out of sight. So this could be somebody's fear. They've got a fear of losing money. Perhaps when you receive this card in this position, it may even feel as though cash is slipping through your fingers like water. Been there, done that. While this might seem like an ongoing state of affairs, you can turn things around. Be very conscious and responsible when money issues are concerned. Take action to plant new seeds and nurture your financial garden with patience and clarity. Excuse me, this cycle will end and you will in time enjoy the fruits of your labor. Abundant wealth blossoms all around me. I see the value in my everyday life. So, and with the two of wands is this feeling of I haven't got any options. I haven't got any options. I need the money. You know, I'm doing this job because I need the money. Maybe it doesn't, you know, tie in with my values. Maybe it makes me feel like shit. Maybe, you know, I'm not happy, but I don't have any other options. You know, I've got to run the rat race. So that's what needs healing in your soul, because I want to say it's a lie. I was thinking about this today, actually, how, like, again, in like the 80s especially, I was thinking about latchkey kids, because I was kind of a bit like a latchkey kid, but not. You know, my parents were separated. I lived with my mum. My mum was a landlady. I lived in a pub. I was always upstairs. You know, I was either upstairs or downstairs with all the drunk people. And it wasn't the best nurturing environment for a child to be raised in. My mum was brilliant. She was doing the best she could. But again, that thing about the money, like, having to do it for the money, having to, you know, like, I don't have choices, I've got to do this for the money, you know, and how that was prevalent in America in the 80s. Like, you know, like even Last Action Hero that I was watching, you know, the mum's like, I've got to go to work, she leaves the kid in the apartment on his own. We buy into it as a community, as a society. We buy into it, and it's like money's the greatest lie ever told. Money's the greatest joke that the universe ever played on us. The idea that our soul should be a slave to money is the most disgusting, abhorrent idea to me. And the abundant universe does provide. It takes a long time to believe that, but it really, really does. You know, and that abundant universe can come through generous family, generous friends who help you out when you need helping out. It can come through, you know, a 20 pound note like blowing into your path when you really need it the most, you know, or it can come in so many ways. And it's, if you believe it, if you believe that money's the answer, then the universe is going to tighten that belt more and more until you wear a different pair of pants, right? So, and it's hard, right? And I've been there. I've been, oh my God, I do not have money. How am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to feed my children? Been there. So acceptance, 9 of emotions, the Hermit. So this is very, very spiritual. This is, I don't need anything except for my own soul and my connection to spirit. And as long as I've got that, I could be out on the streets. I could be like, you know, wandering the desert. It's very Buddhist, right? It's very like, my soul transcends the physical. And I want to say again, going back to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs that I like to talk about, you really need to have your base needs met, right? You need to have your security and things like that in order to have that like ascension. So I'm not kind of discrediting that. I'm just reading the cards. But this is like, it is so spiritual. It transcends the need for anything except your own soul, which is beautiful and scary. And you see it in people. You know, sometimes like, you know, it can be an interview with homeless people, and they have this, it's like you think they've got it right, you know, not all of them obviously, but you know, every now and again you see somebody who has nothing, like they're so humble and yet they're so connected and thankful, you know. Right, okay, Starry Night. Through the pine boughs, 1,000 stars shine brightly overhead. In the stillness of the night, you can hear the soft songs, each star with its own melody, all notes coming together as one glorious song. So this is everybody's soul being interconnected for me, because soul, like, it's like the star, like the soul is the star is the soul. You feel your spirit rise as this canticle of the cosmos showers down on you. You know that you have a place. Someone may really like looking up at the stars, right? You know that you have a place on the planet that is unique and remarkable. Again, this thing about the fingerprint, the soul fingerprint, right? Allow blessings of the Creator to cascade into your beings. You are so very worthy of this grace and so much more. Embrace all parts of yourself, accept your majesty. There are times when it may be challenging to fully accept yourself just as you are. And I know I can think of a Scorpio specifically, two Scorpios specifically, who their physical body doesn't necessarily reflect what's going on inside them. Okay, so I'm just reading the card. Yet when you don't honor all parts of yourself, you are denying yourself a full experience of life. There are no wrong experiences. Each one allows you to grow as a spiritual being. Again, disagree with that. You are welcome to. I know that is a controversial statement. I'm reading from the book, okay? Some people say that they can never accept the dark deeds that have been done on the planet. There is no need. I feel like Virgo had this question in the creator energy. There is no need to do so. Some things are just wrong. Some things are just wrong. However, in order to bring more light into the world, you must first accept yourself in all your permeations. What you deny in yourself ruins your life. The more you don't accept yourself, the more fulfillment and life force energy you will have. The more you accept yourself, the more fulfillment and life force energy you will have. I mean, that's fine, right? Self-acceptance. And that's not to say, you know, say you have self-acceptance, but say you are transgender, right? And you're like, I want people to respond to me based on how I feel on the inside rather than how I look in my physical body. So if you are interested in doing gender reassignment surgery, this isn't saying don't do that, but it's like accept yourself at a core level. I don't know. It's difficult. It's very difficult, this reading, but you know, if you hate yourself, that's not healthy. That's not, and you can, if you hate yourself at your core, you know, if you don't think you're a good person, if you think, you know, you're always looking at your own faults, you know, you can change your outward appearance as much as you want, but you're never going to find true acceptance unless you truly accept yourself first. What's inside, right? At a soul level, which is what the Hermit says. So you have to know yourself at a soul level and accept yourself at a soul level before you can really have a fulfilling Two of Cups relationship. But when you do, and you find somebody else who has that soul acceptance, brilliant, perfect harmony, right? So yeah, it's by all means, you know, if you want a brow lift, if you want to, you know, plump your lips up, if you want to change your hair color, you know, if you want to change your vehicle, because to me the body is just your vehicle, right, for your soul, absolutely go ahead and do it. But accepting your true colors and really seeing yourself clearly, like, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like you could hate yourself and you could drive a Lamborghini around for a day and think, yeah, this Lamborghini makes me feel so cool, but at the end of the day you still don't like yourself. You're just the person you don't like driving a Lamborghini, you know? So it's like, but if you like yourself, if you think, God, you know, at a soul level, you know, if I could look my own soul in the mirror, I would think, yeah, you've got it going on. You're a good person. You know, you know, at your core, you're a good person. And, I like you. I like who I am. When I look into the mirror and I look into my eyes, you know, and I see my soul, I like you. When you can do that, you know, you could be driving around in, you know, a sloppy jalopy or, you know, a big old lemon. Like, you know, you could be driving around in a junk car and you'd still be like, I'm the most awesome person on this planet. Like, I think it's funny I'm driving around in a junk car, you know? So there's it's interesting to think about. You know, you can be a twat in cool trainers, but you're still a twat in cool trainers. Excuse my language. Okay. The Spirit of the Starry Night says, embrace your inner majesty, accept your life in all of its configurations. Every moment has profound value, even if it doesn't seem like it. Forgive yourself and others. Accept all that life has provided, and harmony will ensue. And I feel like this will bring the joy, and this will bring the new beginnings in for you. So, excuse me, I'm going to read the Hermit card here from the Muse Tarot, and then I'm going to jump over here to these two, because I think these are kind of self-explanatory, and I think these will come naturally when you do this, right? When you do this and you really get that soul acceptance, like, your life is going to look completely different. Unless you're here already, in which case, yeah, well done you. Scorpio's teaching everybody else how to do it, you know, how it's done. So the Hermit. A sage or mentor, wisdom, listening to guidance, introspection, taking time away, listening to your heart, a time for meditation and contemplation. She is meditating here as well, by the way, so you may want to do some meditation. Finding your voice, a time out, a cautioning against spending too much time alone. Interesting. Sacred solace. Oh, sweet light, how it glows. She is ready to see the miracle of luminosity, the soft emanation from the ethers that she senses in her heart. She sees this light in dreams, and yet she knows that its brilliance comes bundled with sunlight and moonlight. So she journeys alone under the stars, this star again, okay, ruminating on where it originates and on how to access its wisdom more readily. The Hermit Muse reminds you to process your experiences as a way to learn. Knowing that you own your smile is great company. Sorry, knowing that your own smile is great company. Again, it's like coming, you've got to learn to love yourself. And like, yes, we have experiences. Yeah, shit things happen to us. And yeah, sometimes we make the wrong choice, but do we learn from it, right? Do we learn from it? Do we grow from it? Do we become a better person on a soul level? Listen deeply and see the lessons that live in the simplest of things. The shiny lights you see in others are a reflection. See the shiny lights of others, right? The souls of others. Oh, I love this. The shiny lights you see in others are a reflection of the magic you already hold in your heart. So choose words that fuel your envisioned path and speak with the passion of purpose. It's time to find the sage within. In solitude, we meet the muse. In solitude, she guides. In gratitude, she helps us choose. In darkness, she confides. And when I search inside her heart, she tells me I am free. And then in my solitude depart, because this muse is me. Beautiful, yeah. Learn to love yourself, Scorps. Okay, and trust the great mystery. Spirit has a plan. And sometimes we go through sucky situations because we're being challenged, and we have lessons to learn from it, okay? And as long as we come out of the other side and we can still breathe, you know, that relief, I'm getting relief from that now. It's like I did it. I did that. I survived that. I'm still here. You know, like that Sia song. Again, Sia's controversial, but I'm fighting my battles. I'm fighting my ego, and I'm still here. So you're winning. You're here. You're watching this video. You're here today. You're alive. You're winning. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I just got full body shivers. The whale spirit, trust the great mystery. Whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything. So funny, because I was talking to my daughter yesterday about that Doctor Who episode, The Beast Below, where you know, the human race is flying on the back of the star whale, and the star whale came because it heard the children crying, and it was old and kind, and I love that. So I don't know, it comes up now and again in my readings. I just really love it. The whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. So if you want to call that God, whatever, you know, not whatever being dismissive, but whatever you want to call it. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When whale spirit appears, it's a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, and you have a huge amount of heart energy here with this water energy. Through intuition, again water, and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veils separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. Gorgeous. So let me read these Muse Tarot cards because there's such gorgeous messages on them. I'm going to read the Two of Cups and the Muse of Emotions because I think this is where you're heading, what you're manifesting, where you're heading. So just be aware that this could be you and another person, you and a twin, if you like, or it could be you and your own mirror self, like you and your shadow self, you and your reflection, you know, Alice in Wonderland type stuff. Where are you, cups? Two cups, where are you? It's because I'm looking for cups and not emotions. It's called emotions in this deck. Right. Love, relationships, friendship, romance, partnerships, connecting with others, soulmates, multiple as well. Like it could be like friends, family, just people who you connect with on a soul level. Like you look at them and you think, yeah, you know what I'm thinking. I know what you're thinking. I get you, you get me. Brilliant. Mutual attraction, catalysts for creative collaborations. Prompt, consorting with devotion. Consorting with devotion. The Two of Emotions offers a mutual attraction that leaves them floating helplessly in the waters of love and tumbling into the future together. All the feels. They find themselves on the same wavelength, impossibly drawn to this connection that blossoms so easily. With emotions this synced, they know that the connection is one that will mean a lasting partnership. They are ready to commit their hearts for the long term. They collaborate, working and twisting together in ways that allow them to envision and create their blended reality. This pairing is available to you now and requires honest communication and total authenticity. So sink fearlessly into the realization that it's time to share yourself wholeheartedly with another. This is the only way to drift into the love that's being offered. Allow your entangled hearts to do the rest. Entangled, enriched, souls perfectly pitched, as our spiral is hitched, a new emotion bewitched. Gorgeous. Okay, and then we go Muse of Emotions, which is the King of Emotions, which is your card in the tarot. Compassion, joy, the freedom to feel all the emotions, feel all the things, right? As a way to self-discovery. Transcendent states of bliss, meditation, inner calm and knowing. Again, what it just said there, the freedom to feel all the emotions as a way to self-discovery. So again, like they are drinking here, so just be careful if you've been like numbing. Again, it's like you're meant to feel things. You're a human being on earth. You are supposed to have emotions. And if you're emotionally numb or blocked, why is that, right? Is there a cause of that? You know, are you resisting feeling things? Have you been told big girls don't cry, you know, big boys don't cry? Have you suppressed something? Do you need, this isn't me being rude, but like, do you actually need some therapy, you know, to help you work through some of those things? You're meant to feel things, you know, you are. And there can be different reasons, like, you know, genetic reasons or disabilities or mental health issues. There's a lot of different reasons why, you know, some people feel more than others, or maybe, you know, why some people have trouble identifying what they're feeling. It's like, I know I'm feeling something, but what that exact feeling is, I can't identify it. You know, I think there's some exploration for you to do in that realm. And again, it's like learning about yourself, learning about your own emotions through your experiences. So if you're in a situation and you're like, this doesn't feel right, like, why doesn't it feel right? Why is that emotion there? What is that telling you? Like, when have you felt like this in past situations? Or say you, for example, are like, you know, I really, really like this person. Like, I want to spend all my time with this person. Like, what is that I'm feeling? Is it love? Is it acceptance? You know, it could be a lot of different things. When have you felt those things in the past? So, yeah, explore it, right? Don't just think, oh, I feel something. Think, why are you feeling it? And compare it to other feelings. Excuse me. Avoiding moodiness. Rinsing the shadow. Come, tiny vessel of love, to the place where the water drops off and pours into the sweet shell of life. This message of highest love resides when all the bits and pieces of your anger and sadness are brewed and alchemized into beautiful experiences for the soul, for they too are experiences to be cherished and learned from. Come meditatively, quietly, calmly, with everything you are. Leave nothing behind, for you need it all in this place of mindful understanding. Steer clear of manipulation and moodiness, and come into the night on the sweet waves of kindness, for those are the waves that will push you past the riptide. They will float you to the sandbanks of connection and invite you to explore your inner world with the gentlest compassion. Your task is simply to be true to your heart and accepting of the nature that is, as the healing waters of pure love are headed your way. I'm getting this impression because there's a lot of like boat and star references. I don't know if somebody has been out on a boat at night, like slept on like a rowboat, looking up at the stars. I don't know if that's an experience that somebody had, but I'm kind of getting that. A tender awareness of perception, reaction, emotion, empathetic and true. Sensitive wisdom who crosses this sea, the subtle magic of now lies with you. Well, Scorpio, I think you've taught me a few things today, and it was a few beautiful things about love and happiness and new beginnings and trusting Great Spirit and having that soul growth and really knowing who you are at a soul level and recognizing where your choices have been limited in the past, perhaps due to conditioning and the things that you've been offered. You know, if you've only been offered A or B, you might think that only A and B exists when there might be a whole alphabet out there for you to try. Okay, take care of yourselves. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Leave me a like, subscribe, all that business. Leave me a comment if anything particularly resonated. Share with your Scorpio friends if you think it'll do them any good. And yeah, I hope it was helpful and healing and not too traumatic, because I did feel like it was going to be very triggery at the beginning of the reading. So take care, friends, and you know, wishing you health, wealth, love and happiness. Bye.